Hello and welcome back, Josh, Sam, and anyone else who's watching to Lviv and Let Die. We're back, baby, with a new season, possibly the last season. I haven't decided yet. But we have some exciting transfers to fill you in on. And then we need to get on with this here league. You'll be excited to know, speaking of excitement, that I have now mentioned a number of times, that Krim Teplice have actually been promoted to the league. So that's going to be fun for me to try and pronounce. But nevertheless, let's move on. Let's look at, just quickly, Bellinger has been joined by Moreno as an icon of the club, which is nice. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for the transfers. We have brought in £39 million worth of transfers, mainly through two sales. Daniel Rosic has joined Leicester City, Premier League champions. Your boy Lasha Gogua has joined Genoa for £13 million. And another big player out, Andreas Ekskildsen, who has joined Trabzonspor for a ludicrous £8.75 million, considering we signed him on a free a year previously. Also slightly minor, a major sale, Malik Bouafia has joined Clermont Foot 63. He's a player who never even came close to starting in the team, and so making quite a big profit on him. That's good. We brought in a few young players. One would be a young goalkeeper, Marek Seaman. You can see why I picked him. He's good. He's on a rotation contract. He'll get better, and I think he's pretty much as good already as Santiago Maya. He'll be as good, if not better than him if he plays. So we'll have to see how that goes. We also brought in Tibor Clement from Hungary. He's already pretty good looking, and I'm going to hopefully send him out on loan to maybe FC Brasov. Let's send him there. Alongside him, we also brought in this guy on a free. I mentioned him in the last video. No good at all, but he'll play in our league. In our cup games. And Boyan Kolev has joined us as well. He's not very good, but we'll probably make a little bit of money off of him if we only sign him for 60k. So, there is that going for us. In terms of what we're going to do, we're going to play Krivbas and then we're going to play Odessa. The Super Cup is a competition that we have won pretty much every year since we've started winning things, with the only loss being to Krivbas a couple of years ago. So we're hoping that we can extend our winning run in this competition. So here we go, I guess. Let's take them on. They are newly not rich. If you'll remember from the last video, it popped up right at the end of the season. They have lost their financial backing from whichever madman wanted to waste his money by investing in this team. So we can maybe hope that will mean that we can push on a little bit. Probably we can do, and by push on I mean that they'll drop out of the contention for being so good. It'll probably take a little while, what with them having a couple of very good players and players who they can probably sell off, but the end will come for them, and we're probably not going to be around to see that, to be honest with you. But we'll keep an odd glance, and it will be odd, from over the way. We'll start with Croatian Commie and Determined Henry. We'll bring on Junior. We do intend to. I was sort of thinking to keep a couple of these players in the squad this year. So Makovsky, but he's probably going to join another club on loan. We've also got Jane Benishai, who did well last year. I was thinking to keep him as well, but then I decided to send him off to Lechia, because I think it just sort of makes sense. We'll give the number 11 shirt to Wolfgang Klein, and we will not give the number 5 shirt to Marek Seaman, but he's going to make his debut in the Super Cup. Many of our best players have done so. Let's go. Come on, lads. I do want to, before we kick off... Oh, no, I'm going to have to kick off and then pause quickly, because I've just thought it would be interesting to see what effect not having any money has had on them. So if we look at their past managers, so they've got this current guy in there, Landmarks, where was it? This guy withdraws his funding. Now let's look at their transfers. They sold only a couple of players. And they brought in one guy from Rapid Bucharest who's fine. So far it hasn't hit them. Unless they sold some players at the end of last year. No, it doesn't look like it. But they won't be able to be doing this kind of level of expenditure from now on, methinks. Interesting to see what happens with the rest of the league when Krivbas start to revert to form, because they used to be, I assume, some kind of mid-table team. We came after they'd been bought out, or rather we arrived in the top division after they'd been bought out. So we don't know what their normal type is. We know that they hadn't won the league or anything before they got all that investment, so you would think that they'll go back to that sort of level. Be fun to see them relegated after having caused us so many problems. Shihata with the ball, he's a lovely player and he shoots straight at Benitez. Are they still playing Kamara out of position? Are they even still playing Kamara? Topalovic heads home and there we go again. Yeah, they're not even playing Kamara in this game, interestingly. I wonder what happened to him. Maybe he's injured. Or maybe he's on the bench. Maybe they don't care about this game, but we need it as a friendly because I sort of forgot how quickly you need to arrange the friendlies, and so because I was actually doing quite a lot of scouting for young players in South America, the proper way, like the searching through them yourself way, and in doing so, sort of forgot a little bit about arranging friendlies until the last minute. Hence, we only played 2. So this is going to be our 3rd warm-up game of the season, rather than being the point at which I would think we're probably ready to go. Luckily, I mean, it doesn't matter, and we're better than everyone anyway. But crucially, the first game of the season is against Odessa, so it's not like we have a very hard challenge. Good effort from determined Henry there, nicely saved onto the post, and unfortunately out for a corner. It'll be interesting to see how the club copes without 2 legendary figures. It seems like we're going to be mostly scoring through Topalovic and this guy in goal, Benitez, but Nicolas Benitez. But yeah, we seem to be profiting from some pretty lackluster defensive positioning at corners from Krivbas here. Maybe Topalovic will be the new Daniel Rosic in terms of goal scoring. We'll never know. Well, we will know because we'll play a whole season at least. I think we might get two or 3 seasons more. This is when I'm saying this is potentially the last season. This is the point where I'm now looking for a good out. So if we win the Champions League this year, for example, it's unlikely, but if we were to win the Champions League, that would be a good out. If we were to win the Europa League, that would be a good out. If we just win the usual, but we look like we're making progress in Europe, for example, then I think we can probably stretch to a year or 2 more. I also quite like the idea of sort of transitioning the team through one success into a second successful team, which is sort of where we are now. We've lost the linchpins, Gogua and Rosic from that first winning team. We're now very much in the second winning team, with Plan in second, Marino as our striking partnership up front. Hopefully with determined Henry and Croatian Commie in midfield, which will be good. Musa Kurt's been a bit of a stalwart. He's sort of a bridging between the 2 generations. Soon we'll have to lose Big George and Mick as well, for example. In fact, I actually would have and may in fact still sell Big Mick if we can get in a decent replacement. I had found a couple of players who look absolutely delicious, but either wouldn't come or wanted just outlandish amounts of money. So didn't end up making the move. And once we can make a good replacement, we will sell him as well, because he's also, I think, 29. We got 3 players in at basically the same time. But like, for example, we've got Nirbiton. I mean, him developing into one of the world's superstars is hopefully inevitable. And it would be good that he does it at Lviv. And with me in charge, he would stay at Lviv. Arfari, Topalovic to Planinsek. Big ball. So I'm pretty sure I know where we're going to go, even if I don't know when. It's likely to be either Union Venezia or San Marino, the club, based in Italy. I'm pretty sure they're in the same division or the same regions, like the same level, if not the same exact division. I've been checking out the rules of those Italian leagues, and you can't sign non-EU players from outside of the EU, which I think means I could sign, for example, a Brazilian from another club in our league. I think that's what it means. Well, we'll find out in practice. And yeah, they're in the third, I think it would be the third or possibly the fourth division in Italy, with the intention of bringing them up to the top level. And we'll see who's in the worst state when I do decide to call it a day at Lviv, and that will be the team that gets Wheatlandified. Arfoi. And Schmidt hits over. We've been pretty comfortable in this game. I wouldn't say that Krivbas have really challenged us at all. In fact, the stats even back that up. Planinsek with the header? No. Musika? No. Paraka, though, has the ball. It seemed like they're maybe waking up a little bit in this game. Zungu, his shot. Seaman taps it onto the post. It would also be sort of outrageous for me to sign a player called Seaman and then not stick around to enjoy that for a little while at least. We'll have to see. Bajramovic gives it to Komi. Shahata slips Marino, and there it is. Marino tackles the ball, and is that his first goal? Or did he score the first one? No, but of course Topalovic. Yeah, but Marino scores. We're 3-0 up now. We can make some changes. We'll bring on Akwegbu. We'll have Wolfgang Klein finally get his debut for us a year after signing. And we'll bring on Badani because he's Ukrainian. Good jokes. Yeah. Triple substitution. Let's just go for the gullet. Get ourselves another goal at least. Maybe one or two more. Because I think 4-0 is the record. Didn't we set that last year against Krivbas? Against Karpati. Or was it more than 4? Was it 4 that we broke? I can't remember. Anyway, they're still coming forward. Maybe they don't want to be on the end of a hiding, even though I'd say 3-0 in a cup final is pretty much a hiding. Great save from Seaman there. Up close and personal. Marino with the ball, plays it off Zungu, wins us a throw. Nicely done, sir. Nicely done, sir. Bajramovic. Wolfgang Klein. Oh, keep going. Keep going. Good effort from the boy, but it went well over the bar. Or probably didn't. It would have dropped just on top of the net, I guess, in real life. Roldan. Bajramovic. Roldan. That seemed to be on TV on a Sunday afternoon when I was a kid all the time, unless Dad had a video of it. But he always seemed to be watching that. Comment down below if you agree. Cool. 72 minutes. This is going to be another cup win for us. Determined Henry. Oh, it would have been nice to have a free kick from Determined Henry to add to the collection, but no. Juric now heads over the bar. We had a player called Juric. I don't think it's him, though. He plays now in England. Where did he go? Milan Juric. Don't remember, but he's definitely not playing for Krivbas, or at least he shouldn't be. Zungu. Georgiev. Zungu. Why are they not playing? I assume this is like a kind of mixture of their first and second teams, because the numbers seem a little bit off for an AI team. Usually the AI teams stick to close to the first 20-something. So it seems like these guys are not starters, for example. Marino, keep it. Yes. Bajramovic, big ball up towards Akwegbu. Akwegbu! Yeah, well, that's why it says that he's a striker, but he's absolutely not a striker. You just saw evidence there of why. Patash. He wears his moustache with panache, therefore patash, if it was backwards. Roldan gives it to... He gets it back. Zungu has it again now. Kolomoyets. I mean, that's a Ukrainian sounding name, so I'd imagine he's probably pretty rubbish. Just because they all are. Also, one thing I noticed, and I'm not sure I brought this up when, like in the videos afterwards, But I've been wondering for ages why, for example, Rosic didn't ever, or Gogua didn't also become Ukrainian. Because it often happens, like in Poland, for example, a lot of our best players became Polish with the intention of helping us get around the league registration limits and also for them to become EU citizens. It hasn't happened in Ukraine, and it turns out that maybe that's because they can't. Obviously, they wouldn't get the EU benefits for it, but they don't even have the Ukrainian like nationality counter, which is something that shows up when it shows how many days until you get this citizenship, and that doesn't even exist, at least as far as I can tell. So none of our players are becoming Ukrainian, which is a shame because I kind of thought that would happen, and we could maybe improve the quality of the Ukrainian league, the national team. But never mind. Anyway, 3 times in a row, we win it again over Krivbas. Krivbas looking pretty average, I thought. Seaman makes Lviv debut. Never not going to be funny, guys. It's never not going to be funny. One more thing I need to check. Did anyone that I like come into this division? No. So I'm interested to see how Lechia continue to progress, because they've had 2 very good finishes. I mean, look at their... They came 4th and 4th for the last 2 seasons with our help. And I've given them a couple more players again. Hopefully that can push them back up, and maybe they can get into Europe again. That'd be good. Good for them. So that's that then. John Moritz signed my sack. Came through at Lviv. Sent him away. Told him to leave. He did very poorly for Naftovic Ukranafta. Not even in the league at this point. Oh, they are now, but they weren't last year. And what a pathetic. Oh wow, there's a new team, Energia Nova Kakovka. Oh, I mean, that's a cool team. That's a cool badge. They're even older than Lviv, even though their name is Energia. Oh man, that would have been a cool team to take over, Energia. I mean, Lord knows where that actually is. Facilities. It's in Nova Kakovka. Okay, so whilst we're progressing through, I'm going to Google Nova Kakovka. Okay, so here we go. Here's a young player, 17 years of age. They reckon he's going to be as good as Yuri Konstadalov. I don't, so I'm going to cancel it. Although his name is what did appeal to me is his name. He's only Argentinian, but his name is Daniel Anderson. And I think you can join me in appreciating that. How weird that is. What was that team's name? Energia. No. Okay, well, I can't bloody remember. Nova, was it Nova? Mazozeva? Nova Kakovka. There they are. Energia Nova Kakovka. Maps. It is a very small place. Where's the zoom function? Come on. It is... Oh, it's still loading. Let's just move on. Oh, it's near Crimea. Okay. Well, it would have been pointless to be their manager, but it would have been a cooler name at least. FC Lviv is a little bit bland, if I'm honest. I hear Masha chatting to her mum in the background, probably about where she wants Ben to go next on Football Manager. That's usually what they talk about. Arsenal fans excited by the prospect of determined Henry. I mean, I would be too if I were them, but I'd also be disappointed because he's not leaving. And Barcelona step up their bid for our centre back. Good. Well, you can all bugger off. Juventus Stadium wins that. Antwerp Community Stadium. Zykov Park really is sucking at their bids for things because they haven't got in any of these things. Vaz refuses to go on loan to Lechia, which is a shame. This is our Walt Vaz. Decent player, but needs to go somewhere. Can we say Frasov this time then? We need you to go off somewhere, bro, because I can't give you football here. And yeah, Makovsky's going to go on loan to Shlonsk. So off you go, son. Try and win them the league again, please. With the favourites, they intend to put a dent in our title hopes. Yep. 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 And it's going to be Lviv winning the title again. No doubts about that. But I do want to do one thing, because I realise now that I didn't ever follow up on who won the English FA Cup. Danny English, Craig English, cool. And was that a team called English Harbour? Yes, cool. Okay, English FA Cup holders Bristol City. Fucking rubbish. Bristol City. Ugh. That makes me sad. I mean, it's a new winner of the cup. So if we go to the England stats and now refresh old Mr. FA Cup, will that work? It didn't work. I think. Ah, because they're not checked. Okay, and now? What happens now? Bristol City there. Bristol City there. And where's Hull? Because Hull have disappeared. Technical masterclass going on. I'll press the space bar to keep you guys interested whilst I continue to search for Hull. There they are. They made it too. Good. So the last two winners of the FA Cup have been new teams, never to have won it before, which is really cool. Well done, England, for finally making something interesting happen. QPR won the League Cup last year, which was disappointing, but that's a really weird set of winners for the English game. Leicester City League champions, Bristol City FA Cup, League Cup winners were Queen's Park Rangers. This year, in general, is a bit odd. Europa League winners Udinese, Champions League winners Porto. So it's very much the year of the not traditionally big teams, except for Porto, who are obviously traditionally big in Portugal. And they've won the Champions League a few times before, so it's not like it's completely out of the blue, but still interesting. I'll have to go through and make sure that my pivot tables are working in a exciting comment. That's probably the least exciting. That's probably the least cool thing anyone's ever said on YouTube. YouTube is a cool place for cool young people. And I just said I probably need to update my pivot tables to make sure they're working correctly, which we all know is the least coolest thing anyone has ever said. Least cool thing. Because the least coolest thing could still be cool. Raktoret. Oh, it's Masha. Hello, Masha.
Hello.
Say hello to the guys.
Hello, guys.
She bought me some salad. Thank you, Masha.
Welcome, Mitch.
Yeah, and now, even though we're on the day of the game, we are going to process just for a little while longer. If you could, that'd be great. Ezekiel Raktoret. It's an excellent name. It sort of strikes me as the kind of player that I would have signed for £500,000 7 or 8 years ago, and I've been happy about it. Now he doesn't even get anywhere close to the team. Evgeny Bodrov. Did they say that he was being bought for how much? Oh, 6.25. I thought it said 6.5 million. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bothered clicking on him. Right. Let's have this opening day of the season. Odessa on the up last couple of years. Hoping that we can put them back down. Make them remember that they're not a big club. And we, ironically, we are a big club. There's nothing ironic about it. Santiago Maya can come back in. I'll play the big boys. I just ate a leaf. That's what I was doing. That's why it sounded odd when I was speaking then. I was eating a salad leaf. So, there you go. The health drive continues apace here in Wheatland HQ. Calm. Oh. Okay, good. Right. Early doors, Jagurjic. They have a free kick, and they've failed in their free kicking. Who are Krivbas playing? Arsenal Kiev. Your classic mid-table team, Arsenal Kiev. Come on, Naktela could have had that and then just kicked it clear. Cullen wins the ball nicely. Planinsek now running on, goes past his man, puts the ball in. Oh, it was nearly beautiful. Biton puts the ball in again. Planinsek's head over the bar. That's a shame. We've been playing nicely, though, in these first 5 minutes, of which we've had exactly equal numbers of highlights. That was some fun little tennis around the middle of the pitch. Naktela gives it to Merino. Oh, Planinsek's first touch was very nice there for once. And he does unfortunately see his shot saved. We do have a throw in though. Are we going to see it taken? No. Cullen to Naktela. Planinsek has the ball, but he was offside when he collected it. He puts it away nicely, but no. So we now have a new record to chase down in terms of goal scoring. I think it's something like 200. So it'll take a while, but Merino finishes in style, and you got to think that he's the man that's going to be potentially breaking Rosic's record. Planinsek could do it. He's good enough to do it, although he's been off the boil in the last couple of seasons after that one breakthrough year where he was just ridiculously good. But there we go. Villamayor to Cullen. Cullen again tackles, and we win a corner with the shot off of number 4's back. Determined Henry puts the ball in there. Oh, missed. It's okay. Oh, Cullen's effort. I mean, if that had been allowed to go, it would have gone over here. Determined Henry puts the ball in, and Gavrilovic clears. Biton takes the ball, turns, gives it to Palovic. Determined Henry now has it. He goes himself, which was an interesting decision, but Mancic saves despite the acute angle. Merino. Oh, Biton goes strange ways. He's an exciting player. Naktela gives it to Villamayor. Cullen. Ooh. I think a surprised little cough there as I chew another little bit of leaf and then nearly choke to death on it. Determined Henry to Cullen. Cullen again having a shot. He does score occasionally, as did Leroy Williamson. That's a great ball. Oh, the header goes into his hands. I mean, there's no way in hell that perfect style of ball, just sort of swinging out but low and under the bar, you wouldn't have headed that in. There's no way in hell that would have not gone in. To Fulovic, so I suppose that makes it an excellent save, or a very poor header. Stojlikovic. Oh, his ball goes forwards, but Meyer collects. Did we not draw with these towards the back end of last season? I think we did. They were having a very good season. I don't think they'll replicate that here. Merino, he turns everyone lovely. Like, that's exactly like Rosic used to do. Rosic used to score them though. 28 minutes gone. We're having plenty of chances. They're not completely out of it, so it's at least making for a relatively interesting spectacle. I mean, does that count as a shot? No. Determined Henry to Planinsek. Planinsek shot, but Mancic manages to save. Topalov. Merino with it. Planinsek now rounds his man. Can he cross it? Cut it back? Oh, we win a corner. Determined Henry's corner comes in to Palovic, heads wide. We've no longer got Gogua, whose corners were so deadly. His free kicks were less deadly, but still occasionally incredibly deadly. Oh, Musaka, what are you doing there, man? I mean, this is the first half, and we have had 16 shots. It's not that many, actually. I thought it was going to be more. It's felt like more. Planinsek, come on. Goes round his man, and has a shot, and it's saved, and then the second effort was wide. Not that impressed. It's okay, the Determined Henry. Oh, man. Musaka defied again. Oh, Marino's little improvised header there hits the post, but he was offside. It's a bloody lovely day here in Poland. Still all quarantined up, but still the weather is delightful. And what better way to enjoy that than by sitting inside, as we have done for the last 3 weeks. Lasai. Graham Lasai. There's a lot more to come. There's a lot more to come. There's a lot more to come. Oh, and exciting for fans of car crashes. The new season of, or the second season of Sunderland Till I Die is out next week on, I think, Tuesday or something. It's on the 1st of April. And I am very much looking forward to watching that unfold. The first season was just compelling. I still go back and watch it, and it's just exciting. And I'd love to see the new season and see how that goes. With a few more faces who we don't really know anything about. I mean, Chris Coleman and stuff, that whole bit was well publicised. But this new season should be super interesting, so I'm excited. Determined Henry with a corner in the second half. Musaka beaten in the air by Teofilic. Well, he's not getting a nickname from me, but he would do if he was one of my players. Naktela, he can't have been offside because the ball came off of a man. Off of their man, not our man. Bajramovic. Biton with the ball, running forwards with pace. Naktela now has the opportunity to cross. It was deflected. Oh, but Biton has absolutely smashed that home. He didn't score many last season. I think he only got 2 or 3, although he did memorably score quite a quality goal in the first league game of the season. And he scored again here. Biton collecting from a deflection and then just wallops it right into the top of the net. No chance for the goalkeeper, and that's 2-0 to FC Lviv. Arsenal Kiev are holding Krivbas, so early door. In fact, everyone. Oh no, that's not true. I thought for a second then everyone else was drawing, but it's not true. I'm mad. Plan Insect's not playing well. Let's bring on Klein. No, let's not. Let's bring on Konstantinov, who the game persists in considering a centre mid. I'm not sure why. I don't think his statistics really back that up. It's one of those weird things where you can get like a centre back who's also a striker. And so often they're useless at both. I don't get why the game does that. Like, why not at least make them good at that? Because I remember on FM10, was it? I had a centre-back striker, and he was great at both. Like, he was just really good as a centre-back and as a striker. So it made us very... it made us really sort of flexible. We're like, oh, the striker's been sent off. Well, we'll just put our centre-back up front then. It was great. It was really, really good. Villamayor to Cullen to Determined Henry, who curls from long range, but it goes well over. Did we make 3 substitutions? No, we only made the 1. Let's bring on Ashkenazi, because Bajramovic was involved in something earlier on. I don't remember what it was. And again, let's take on Akwegbu because Biton is looking a little tired. .63 minutes. Can we turn the screw a little bit more? Possibly not. Akwegbu clears, although maybe here we have a chance to break away, score a third. Marino running with the ball. He's got Konsadalov in the box. Naktela back to Cullen. He goes for it from long range, and despite somehow managing to make it curl way after the initial shot, he didn't go in. Ashkenazi now working the ball along the right. Konsadalov turns. Konsadalov went to shoot and did so, but put the ball well over the bar. You can see why the league games are not that inspiring. It's very rare that there's anything actually interesting going on. We actually caught 1 or 2 interesting league games on camera last year because of the 3-3 with... nicely done. Because of the 3-3 with Shakhtar. And I think a 0-0 draw was on camera as well, or maybe a 1-1 draw. But, it's so rare, and even then, they are still draws. You know, it's not that we're losing these games and making the league actually interesting. Last year was probably the closest we came to being challenged for the title, and we still won it by about 13 points. So, you know, it's not inspiring stuff, especially now that they've also had their money withdrawn. So even if this year it doesn't make too much of a difference, it's not going to be forever. Shakhtar are winning though. 3-0 over newly promoted Obolon. Big boys. Who's the big bully? How are Krim Teplitsia? They're doing okay on their debut. They've so far got a point out of it if they carry on. Musa Kurt, keep going. Good lad. Sebastian Maya. Topalovic. Oh, it's a huge ball from Maya. Unfortunately, it was towards Merino, and Vassani got there ahead of him. Petkov to College. 87 minutes gone. We can just end this now. We don't need to carry this stuff on. Oh, nicely done. Villamayor. Maya. Huge ball clear. It's out for a throw, and this is just petering out into nothingness. Krimtaplitsia have conceded late on to lose 2-1 probably. But Krivbas have conceded a 90th minute winner to Arsenal Kiev. So that's good. Early doors, putting some space between us and them. Konstadalov to Naktela. He crosses. Oh, we surely just had to head that home. And Cullen's shot again, way over the bar. He's like our Frank Lampard, except for Frank Lampard scored a lot and is much in every way better. Musakert to Merino to Konstadalov, and we win 2-0. A comfortable win, making this something like nearly 120 games without defeat at this stage. Yeah, nothing particularly interesting to say. Dynamo Kiev obviously smashing Tavria there. Nothing of shock worthiness to report except for the no, I will go to it. Except for the Krivbas loss. So that's that then. I'll be back after Christmas unless there's something big happening in the Champions League. But yeah, we'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.